that are open right now of Netflix, Prime, and everything, and just focus on to this video. In stock markets, there are basically two ways to make money. All the other. Welcome to today's technical. Hi guys, this is Devang Mashpari from equialpha.com. Welcome to today's technical analysis masterclass, and I want you all to take a copy and a pen and to remove all the noises around, all the other tabs that are open right now of Netflix, Prime, and everything, and just focus on to this video. In stock markets, there are basically two ways to make money. The first one is fundamental analysis, and the second one is technical analysis. The first one, the fundamental analysis, says that I need to buy undervalued companies and sell them when they are overvalued. Pretty simple, right? The second one says that I buy stock direction. If the stock is going up, I'll buy that, and if the stock is going down, I'll sell that. Now, before going to that part into details, let me ask you a question first. What do you think is the total number of participants into stock markets in India? How many Demat accounts are there? To be simple, let me ask you directly, how many Demat accounts are there in India? There are 4 crore Demat account holders in India, and out of that 4 crore, 75% of that is active accounts. That means that around 3 crore people trade into stock markets, or around to 3 crore people. Some people may have 2 Demat accounts, so you can take it as an approximation, but yeah, that's the figure. Though this 3 crore looks very less when you compare to the entire population of 140 crore, but yeah, there is many. So there are many people like foreign institutional investors, domestic institutional investors, mutual funds, retail investors, various experts, brokerages, this, that, and n number of people who are actually participating into stock markets. Now, what they do into stock markets? What are they doing into stock markets? So they all have some perspective regarding stock markets, right? For example, one person might be thinking that the MRF share at 65,000 rupees around is undervalued. So what he'll do? He'll put a buy order that he wants to buy up that share. On the contrary, there can be a person who thinks that no, MRF at 65,000 is highly overvalued. And what he'll be doing? He'll put a sell order, because he will be now selling up his stocks. So he will put a sell order, the other person will put a buy order, and if these two price gets matched upon, that's called as a trade, and the price at which this happens is called last traded price. For example, in this case, if he puts an order of buy at 65,000 and the seller also puts an order of 65,000, they both get matched upon, that's the last traded price. This last traded price is only called as market price. So market price of any share is last traded price of it. Got it? Now in this example, we took only one person, but understand, out of those crores of people, at every second, someone is thinking about a stock in some or the other manner. Someone is buying up, someone is selling up, somebody is acting on some news, somebody is acting on some another news, and there are perspectives and opinions going around all the time, at every second. So whatever analysis a person is doing, at the end he puts in order to either buy or either sell. That's like conclusive, right? Don't have any questions with regard to it. Because if somebody is analyzing up something, there can be only two things. Either he likes it or either he dislikes it. If he likes, he'll buy. If he doesn't likes it, he'll put a sell order. Now, why I'm telling you that? Why I'm telling you that there are a lot of people doing that? Because technical analysis is understanding up those people, the psychology of the entire market. That's technical analysis. You understand basically two things into it: demand and supply. Whether the demand is more or whether the supply is more, and you act whichever force is more prevalent. So if sellers are more powerful, a technical analyst will never buy a stock, he'll sell a stock. And if the buyers are more powerful, he will buy a stock. Fundamental analysis is a way in which you understand the business, you understand the promoters, the management, what are the products of the company, how company is growing upon, what's the sales, what's the profit, and all those things. But once you decide, at the end you put an order. So a technical analyst says that I don't need to understand all those things, because I will understand the outcome. Okay, he'll understand the outcome whether people are buying, overall the mass people are buying, or in entirely sellers are more prevalent. You got my point? So a technical analyst doesn't has his own opinion. Understand, this point is very critical. A technical analyst never has his own opinion. He basically acts on the opinion of the mass people. Whatever the mass people are saying, whoever is more prevalent, he just goes with him. He doesn't have his own opinion about whether this business is good or bad. If the people are thinking that the business is good, see, no business is good or bad. It's about the perspective, the person who is analyzing of that business. So if the person who are analyzing the business, majority thinks that this business is good, they'll put a buy order and demand will be more than supply. So if demand is more than the supply, what will happen? The price will move up. That happens with everything around. If the demand is greater than supply, same things happen with stocks also. If the demand is more, the price will move up. So technical analysts will now conclude that since the price is moving up, the company is good. And on the contrary, if he thinks that the price is falling, that is supply is more than demand, then the company is not good. Now, how does this happen? Let me tell you. For example, there is an information that came about XYZ company. Okay, there is a new information that just came into the news, and a technical analyst is now looking at whether the information is good or bad. So he will not go and analyze up the news. Okay, he will not go and see, okay, what will be the impact of this news, what will happen to the company's performance, what will happen to the competitors. He will not go into those details. Okay, those details are left for all the people to conclude upon. That whatever they are concluding, I'll adjust my opinion based on that. So if majority of the people think that information is bad and that information is having an adverse effect on the business of company, then they will sell up the stock. And if they will sell up the stock, the price will fall, because now the supply will be more than demand. And the technical analyst will just react on it. As he sees that, okay, this news came, and after this news, the price has fallen. He will conclude that the information that came is bad. You got my point? He doesn't have his own opinion. He just follows up what the mass psychology is saying, what the mass people are doing. A technical analyst just follows it. If the information would have been good, that the majority of the people think that the information will have positive effect on the business, that the company's sales will grow or the company's new geographical expansion will be very good, then they'll buy up shares. There's one part of analyzing and one part of executing. A technical analyst have no clue, and he doesn't want to even get into analyzing. He just want to understand the execution part. Understand the execution and psychology of buyers and sellers. That's all technical analysis is about. If the price moves up, it's good. If the price is falling, it's bad. When I say mass psychology or what our mass people are doing, this is also called as market's opinion. So a technical analyst will follow market's opinion. He will never question it. A technical analyst says this. Write this down and never forget this. Price is God. Price is God, and never argue with God. The kids doesn't argue with God. So you don't need to argue up with God. And the fundamental analyst, on the contrary, have a complete different level. He'll say that no, people are very poor in analyzing up things. People doesn't know things about. They are very irrational. This news is good. Why are they selling? They should not sell this. So a fundamental analyst will say that markets are irrational. Market doesn't know anything. The mass people doesn't know anything. I will lead the market. I will lead the market, and you all are simply stupid. However, a technical analyst doesn't goes with that. His objective is to not to fight upon this is good, this is bad, this is good, this is bad. His objective is to be with the person or be with the side who's winning. So if the buyers are winning, a technical analysis says that you be with buyers. If the sellers are winning, a technical analysis says that be with the sellers. You be with them. You can take this as a kind of very different thing that happens apart from our usual life. So in usual life, we want to contradict things and we want to have our own analysis of what we think, but technical analysis doesn't work like that. It's understanding and working as per that mass psychology. Now, what is trading? Okay, technical analysis is okay. Now we understood what is technical analysis. We understood that it's understanding of the supply and demand and how they together, supply and demand, is shaping up the prices. Got it? That is technical analysis. Now, what is trading? Trading in simple terms is a pattern recognition game. Now, what is pattern recognition game? As you now know that there are various participants in the market and together they move up the prices. Whoever is winning, it moves into that side, right? Over the period, this human behavior creates price patterns. Now, why price patterns gets up? Because human behavior is same. From the last 100, 200 years, today also, and for the next 200 years also, human behavior will remain same. Fear, greed, regret, all these feelings, human feelings that makes a person to act, to buy, to sell is same. And when this human behavior repeats upon, you will see price patterns. Now, what are these price patterns? We'll look onto it into the second part, but currently understand that trading is a pattern recognition number game in which you first objectively identify the pattern, second, define your risk, and third, you define your position size, that how much percentage of capital I need to put into the stock. And once you decide up these three things, you finally pull the trigger by buying the stock.